You walked into a movie theater last month. You weren't even hungry, but you walked out carrying a large popcorn. And here's the part that should scare you. You thought you made a smart choice. You ran the math. You compared the options. You picked the one that made the most logical sense. But the theater knew you would do that, because they designed the math. And this is not just about popcorn. This exact same psychological mechanism, studied, documented, and weaponized, is running in the background of almost every financial decision you make. Every menu, every pricing page, every checkout screen. And once you understand what it's called, you will never look at a price tag the same way again. There are 3 sizes of popcorn at that theater. Small, $3. Medium, $6.50. Large, $7. Your brain does something automatic. It looks at all 3. It throws out the worst deal. And then it uses the remaining comparison to decide. And what does it find? The gap between medium and large is 50 cents. 50 cents for twice the popcorn. So you grab the large. You feel clever. You walk away. But here's what actually happened. That medium was never meant to be bought. It was placed there, specifically, to make the large look like the obvious rational choice. Behavioral economists call this the Decoy Effect. And in 1982, a marketing professor at Duke University named Joel Huber proved it in a controlled experiment. He showed that adding a single, strategically inferior option could completely redirect which choice people made. He called it asymmetric dominance. The decoy doesn't need to win. It just needs to make something else look like winning. Now here's where this stops being a quirky psychology fact and starts becoming a financial survival skill. Because the decoy effect doesn't live in movie theaters. It lives everywhere money changes hands. Open any software pricing page right now. What do you see? 3 tiers. Almost always 3. Basic, $9. Pro, $25. Business, $27. The business plan has a few more features. And it's only $2 more than Pro. So your brain says, obviously business. That's not a coincidence. The Pro tier was priced specifically to make business feel like a steal. The company knew exactly what it was doing. And now you're paying $27 instead of $9 for features you'll probably use once a quarter. Restaurants do this too. Ever notice that one item on the menu that's outrageously expensive? The $95 Wagyu steak at a place where everything else is $30 to $40? It almost never sells. But it's not there to sell. It's there to make the $45 entree feel moderate. Your brain anchors to $95 and suddenly $45 feels like a bargain. And electronic stores. Walk into Best Buy and look at any TV wall. 50-inch at $399. 55-inch at $649. 65-inch at $699. The 55-inch is the decoy. It exists so your brain thinks, $50 for 10 more inches of screen? Obviously, I'm getting this 65. And you walk out with a TV you didn't plan to buy at a price you didn't plan to spend, feeling like a genius. Pattern interrupt. The wine list, $3 to $340. But here's my favorite version of this. You're at a nice restaurant. You want a bottle of wine. You don't want to look cheap. So you don't pick the cheapest option. You pick the second cheapest. You feel balanced, responsible, smart. Researchers at Cornell's Food and Brand Lab studied this exact behavior. And here's what they found. Restaurants know you'll skip the cheapest. So they make the second cheapest wine the one with the highest profit margin. You thought you were outsmarting the menu. You walked directly into the highest margin item on the list. That's the elegance of this trap. It doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels like math. Here's where I want you to stop and actually feel this number. Let's say the decoy effect costs you an extra $15 a week. That's conservative. Very conservative. That's $780 a year. Invested at 8% over 30 years. That's